The silence was the first thing that hit him, a hollow void where the hum of servers and chatter of colleagues used to be. Mark sat in his car, staring at the building that had been his second home for nearly a decade, now clutching a cardboard box of his life's remnants. Just an hour ago he'd walked in ready for another day. Now, he was an outsider. The closed-door meeting replayed in his mind vague accusations, cold eyes, and a wall of corporate jargon. He tried to defend himself, but it was a swift, clean execution, his professional identity severed in an instant. He had given everything, and in return, received a box and a security escort. The betrayal stung deeper than the loss of a paycheck. It was the end of trust. Mark had believed hard work and integrity equaled success, but now saw how disposable even the most dedicated could be. The shame pressed down on him as he wondered how to explain a failure that wasn't his. He pulled out of the parking lot, leaving behind not just a building, but a version of himself he wasn't sure he'd ever reclaim. Mark's commitment was more than ambition, it was principle. First in, last out, he mapped strategies before dawn and left encouragement for his team. He avoided office politics, focusing on results and mentoring others. Mark led major wins, improved workflows, and always credited his team. He was the department's bedrock, calm, reliable, and trusted in a crisis. His leadership was about service, not command, and he believed loyalty built a fortress of respect. But he never saw how fragile that fortress was. Someone was already chipping away at its foundations. The first signs were subtle. Missing files, lost emails, odd glances. Mark dismissed them as glitches, trusting his team. But whispers grew, and David, his ambitious colleague, began twisting Mark's dedication into a flaw. Misinformation spread. Mark's long hours meant inefficiency, his mentoring was delegation. Sabotage escalated, key data altered, proposals undermined, and Mark gaslighted into self-doubt. The final blow, David forged digital evidence of a security breach framing Mark. David reported it as a reluctant act of duty, using Mark's reputation as bait. The fabricated evidence looked damning. The trap was set for a brutal conclusion. The HR meeting felt like a trial. Mark alone facing a panel of judges. A single sheet, the forged access log, the accusation clear and cold. Mark denied it, offered alibis, asked for real investigation. He was ignored. His skills, once valued, were now dismissed. The verdict was decided before he entered. They wanted closure, not truth. Mark was the perfect scapegoat for a security breach. David's sabotage was invisible but complete. Mark was terminated on the spot, escorted out in public humiliation. Colleagues watched in silence, suspicion and pity in their eyes. He was tried, convicted and shamed, without a shred of real evidence. The days after his firing blurred into a gray fog. Mark woke early, only to remember he had nowhere to go. The silence at home was as oppressive as the silence in his car. He felt erased, his identity and self-worth stripped away overnight. Shame and isolation grew. He avoided calls, emails, and struggled to explain the betrayal to his family. The injustice replayed endlessly, gnawing at his confidence and sense of reality. Depression set in, disconnecting him from those he loved. The job search felt hopeless. How to explain a tainted exit? The man who once led teams now struggled to write a cover letter. He was trapped, haunted by the past and terrified of the future. Weeks later, a spark of defiance pushed Mark to write his story. The truth was all he had left. He posted it online, detailing his dedication, the sabotage, and the aftermath. The response was overwhelming. His post went viral, and messages poured in from people who'd faced similar betrayals. Former colleagues apologized for their silence. Strangers shared their own stories. A community formed, dissolving his shame and restoring his sense of connection. Job offers followed, not just for his skills but for his integrity and resilience. One CEO's message stood out. "We build on trust and transparency. We want your character." The interview was about the future, not the past. Mark became vice president of strategy at a new company, leading with empathy and a commitment to psychological safety. The ordeal became a catalyst for growth. He learned that true strength is forged in adversity. Sometimes, losing what you thought you wanted is the only way to find what you truly need. If you've faced a setback, share your story. You never know who you might inspire or what new beginning awaits.